Welcome to another episode of season 2 of Broke Ass Millionaires.
Bam.
Bam.
Bam. What's up, guys?
That's where you say bam.
We're back.
Bam.
Bam.
Bam. We you may notice we have a very special guest here.
Thank you, guys. I'm here. Thank you.
Who invited him?
Why did I not predict
Who
that was
invited
going to
him?
happen?
You know, I am a distinguished guest of honor.
We have Paul with us. I'm not going to butcher the last name. I was going to do it, and now I'm getting...
I already
Stoykewych.
forgot the last name. Come on.
Stoykewych.
Yeah, Stoykewych. Exactly.
Stoykewych.
Yeah.
He is the assistant coach of the Ottawa 67s. Here to tell us a little bit about what his life is like, because it's obviously way cooler than ours. Tell us about himself, and maybe by the end of it, we'll end up talking about real estate, but that's kind of a side note.
We'll see. Let's see.
So welcome.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys.
Welcome to our podcast. First question, I guess, why are they both wearing hats on the same side of the...
We
They
can
probably
balance
had
the
a memo.
picture.
Great question.
Well, he's wearing his
Honestly,
67's gear.
He
He's
is
representing.
Yeah, to be honest, I forgot we are going to be on camera.
Okay.
And I came right from the gym,
Okay.
and I'm exhausted. So this is kind of what I came
I feel
up
like it
with.
fits the persona of a coach.
Yeah, it
You
does.
have
It
pumps
does.
in the gym,
Yeah.
gym gear, hat.
Yeah.
So
He
what's
wanted,
your,
he
think it
wanted a
fits.
pump before
So-
he was on camera.
what's Elliot's excuse then?
Yeah. My hairline, maybe.
Maybe Rabia should be wearing a hat.
Why? What's wrong with his hairline?
Should we discuss it?
No.
I don't
no.
think Paul knows.
Oh, yeah. So in the past, Omar...
One or two times.
One or two times a minute loves to insult Rabia about his hair. I think because he's jealous that...
I think so. So I'm kind of torn because I get a lot of compliments on my hair when I go
Just
anywhere.
out of pity,
Oh, well, that's the thing. I'm like, have they seen the podcast and they see Omar making fun of me
for sure.
and they feel bad? So now they're complimenting my hair. Do they actually like my hair? I don't know anymore.
I think it reminds them of the raccoon that goes and takes their garbage. Same,
Maybe.
Same hairstyle.
Maybe.
Same.
It's a very old joke. Omar. Very old.
All right, we're going to move on.
Yeah. So let's talk more about Paul,
Yes.
an assistant coach of the Ottawa 67s. How do you even get into that role to be an assistant coach of a team, of a hockey team? Like, what got you here?
Yeah, it's kind of comes full circle. I started obviously as a young kid playing the sport.
See how he looked at me?
It's hockey, Omar.
Yeah. It's basically growing up. I grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, so
Oh, nice.
Central Canada, and
Yeah.
as a young Canadian, everybody wants to play hockey. I had two older brothers played hockey, both relatively competitive. Got into the sport and played it because my friends played it, loved it. Right, like showing up basically like this, hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
You know, and it becomes competitive, and you fall in love with that. And as you get older, you get a little bit better, and kind of got pretty good. Kept advancing to the next level type thing.
Yeah.
Ended up down in the United States playing Division I hockey, and then from there I kind of had opportunities to continue playing pro. But different point in my life, I wanted to move on. I wasn't ready to grind it out in the minors. I wasn't making the jump right from college to the National League or anything like that. So I was going to have to, do my time, bid my time in the minors, and I wasn't ready to ride the bus like that or anything. So got an opportunity where the University of Western Ontario in London called me in small connection where he offered me to be an assistant coach and come kind of continue my education, which was important to me. So
For the varsity team?
for the varsity team. So it was the perfect transition from playing competitive to now taking a step back, but still being fully involved. Obviously, the physical demandment wasn't there. The U Sports is a little bit different level of the NCAA commitment wise, but it was the perfect transition. And then that's kind of where I fell back in love with hockey, the coaching side of things. So from there, kind of progressed. 6 years later, ended up here in Ottawa.
Well, when you say you fell back in love with it, it's because it takes a toll on you. It takes like mentally, physically.
Absolutely. The more competitive the game gets, it becomes a job in a sense, right? Like it's every day, it's a mental grind, and when you lose that passion, no matter what the hobby is, it's challenging. So going into my senior year down at Western Michigan, I tore my MCL at the beginning of the year, so sat out 6 weeks. Didn't want to get surgery, wanted to finish my senior year. You're grinding through school. It's it's a balance of life from a personal side of things, a social life, an academic life, and then the extremely the extremely competitive athletic portion of it. So it takes a toll on you, and when you know the next step is even more demanding, you got to make a decision at some point, and that's kind of where I was at. I loved the academics, I loved the social life, and I love the hockey, but I was at the point where I needed to make a decision, and I kind of went in the other direction. So when I got into coaching, I kind of regained that passion for the game.
Yeah, because you get to kind of take everything you learned over the years mentally in terms of the strategy of the game and that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely.
Kind of reapply it.
And the cool thing about sports is that, like, especially hockey, it's such a copycat league. There's only so much you can do. So the thing that really attracts me to it is the people.
Like your team itself.
Yeah. Well, the way to share the knowledge. I think, like, people ask me what I do all the time, and I don't necessarily say I'm a hockey coach. I kind of walk around. It's like kind of weird to say a little bit. I'm like, coach hockey. Like,
sounds cool, actually.
Claim it.
So Elliot said hockey coach. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
So I do. I tell a lot of people I'm a teacher. Like, and I truly believe that. Like, every day, it's like it's not necessarily the X's and O's that I love teaching. Like, it's fun when a team grasps a concept, but it's more like, especially with the age group I'm working with now, it's like you get to teach a kid and see him develop over, his teenage life. Like, it's such a valuable and important time of his life that you get to influence it. They spend more time with me than they do their own parents.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I guess also, like, when you're D1 and you're making that decision, like, I guess even deciding to go to, like, the minors, you're not even guaranteed to, like, make it to the NHL. So that obviously also was probably a factor in, like, your decision making.
Big time. My older brother, he was a NHL drafted selection. Throw back the hands of time to the Atlanta Thrashers.
Wow, okay, nice.
Yeah, so he
I have
kind of
no clue what that is, but okay.
He's right through. He was playing college hockey as well. He graduated, went and played in the minor pros, and he kind of showed me what pro hockey's all about.
I see.
And it's a lot more than just hockey. Like,
was he? Sorry, cut you off, but was he NHL drafted to play, but like stayed in the farm league kind of thing in the what's called the minor league?
Yeah. Well, he was drafted to the national club.
Okay.
Right, and then as he was developing, he stayed in college.
Yeah.
When he graduated from his college team, he went and joined the minor league. So one level down.
Okay.
He actually made a career of it. Spent 10 years there.
Oh wow.
Loved it. But again, pro hockey becomes very political. There's a lot of people riding on their own selections and their choices, and they really influence kind of a lot of people's careers. And myself not being an NHL draft pick made it even easier to make that decision that this isn't what I want to do.
Oh, interesting.
Because you almost have to go, like, play the game with them.
Big time.
It's more than just like
the
your
politics
skill
of it
on
all
the
to
ice.
actually even get looked at, and you got to schmooze people. And
is it like that? I didn't know. I thought it was like who's the best of the best, and then that's it.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
But if they had to choose between two guys,
between the guys, between you, and you guys are the same talent level, but you're a draft pick. that general manager is going to back his own pick and go with that guy, right? Even though you might be a little bit better. So it's interesting. It's a game. It's a game with inside the game, and it's being on the other side of it now as a coach and having the relationship with my general manager and the management team, like it's
see how those decisions are made.
Oh, it's incredible, and I understand it. Like it's a lot more that goes into a simple decision that you'll see on TSN or ESPN or something like that. It's like, oh, this guy's sitting out tonight. It's like, yeah, there's 14 other brilliant minds figuring out why this athlete needs to do this to have ultimate success for the team and the organization. And it's cool. It's cool what actually goes into a simple decision.
What seems like a simple decision.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah, because I hear do you have like a rain man on your team kind of thing? Like you have like somebody that's doing all the calculations and the math, and then depending on the wind and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good
I've
question.
Seen
It's not much wind in hockey, but
well, you never know. What if the ice is slightly angled or
it doesn't go that in depth. Definitely doesn't go that in depth. But we rely a ton on analytics. We have multiple outsourced tech groups.
They keep stats on players during games.
I could pull up pretty well anything I want to know about a specific individual on my team, my organization, or a team we're going to see in 2 weeks,
that's
3
the
weeks
case
from
even
now.
with minor leagues too, then, right?
I could
Sorry,
pull
not
something.
minor leagues, but like you're saying, you coach juniors.
Oh yeah, from
even with
junior
juniors,
hockey,
keeping-
I could pull up info on a 14-year-old kid now. It's gotten that in depth that like
That's crazy.
So wait, okay, now you guys are talking like I know everything here. So okay, so there's the NHL. Okay, bring it back because I don't know.
for sure. So there's the National Hockey League,
Yeah,
the top pro league.
yeah.
From there's one level down, which is the American Hockey League.
Okay,
Typically, each NHL club has a farm club. So drafted to the Ottawa Senators.
yeah.
You're not playing for the Ottawa Senators in the National League. You'll be sent down to the American League in Belleville. So there's the Belleville Senators. So
Okay.
there's ties.
And the American League is actually North American League, or just like United States of
North
America?
American, Canada and the United
Okay,
States.
yeah.
No,
So it's not
I
just
should
a
call it
more-
the American League, but yeah, a whole bunch of teams in
Yeah.
Canada.
So now you add 25% on those people.
Yeah, and then from right.
That's a
Nice.
tariff joke, ladies
Yeah,
and
nice.
gentlemen. But Jacob thought it was funny.
Does
So.
every single NHL team have an AHL equivalent?
Yeah, every team has an affiliate. Now there's some clubs in the American League that share with a national team,
Okay.
just because there's not as many.
Okay, and then so that's called the farm league.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay, and then below that, then you got the provinces,
Uh,
OHL.
not yet.
Oh,
Not yet. So then there's another league called the East Coast Hockey League.
Yeah, obviously I should have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Again,
where
it's just another level down.
that's where Biggie's from, right? Because I think Tupac was the West.
You can see how uncomfortable Omar is talking about.
But that is a pretty good connection. So those are your three in at least North America. Those are your three big professional
Okay.
hockey organizations. From there, it no longer becomes professional hockey. What I coach is not professional. It's called amateur hockey. It's
Okay.
junior hockey. So, do our kids get paid? Yes. Throw back the hands of time a decade ago, they weren't paid, right?
Oh, okay.
They went through a big lawsuit and child labor type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the owners are profiting, the kids aren't. So,
Oh, I see.
anyways, our kids make a little bit of cash every week. Our kids pretty well across the league make about $400 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but our
It's
kids
more than
our kids are also billeted, so they live at somebody's house here in Ottawa. Their food is paid for,
Oh,
their
room and
school's
board,
paid
I see.
for.
Okay.
We pay for all their gear. They're very well taken care of. The $400 basically spending money.
Okay.
Yeah.
go to the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. They could do whatever they want with it.
Okay. Party.
Yeah.
I don't know how much partying they're doing.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
there rules and regulations around that? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, are you a strict coach?
What?
Shit.
Well, I
I
don't.
knew it.
You know what?
Yes.
Anytime you get into minors, it becomes tricky.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, we have 16, 17, 18-year-olds on our team.
Okay.
The 19, 20-year-olds are legal.
Like,
they're buying all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they're ranging from 16, 17 all the way up to 19, 20, and they're all playing on the same team, or is there different
Correct. So our governing league of the Canadian Hockey League splits into 3 leagues. There's the Western Hockey League, which is basically Manitoba West.
okay.
There's the Ontario Hockey League, which Ontario, you know how Ontarians are.
Yeah.
And then there's the Quebec Maritime Hockey League. So our league, we got 20 teams. Within the 20 teams, I don't know, about 25 kids per roster ish.
Okay.
All aged from 16 to 20.
So every team, so your lineup could have a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old playing against in the
Absolutely.
same lineup.
And just ability.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. The maturity of a 20-year-old compared to a 16-year-old.
Obviously.
So again, it becomes strategy of your organization, right?
But you're allowed to pick from 16 to 20.
You could have anyone you want. Now there are rules. You can only carry 3 20-year-olds. So they're called
Oh.
overagers. You can only carry 3.
Okay.
And
That
there's
way
certain
you don't
deadlines
super
and
team
dates.
it
And
like LeBron James does and still lose.
yes and no. I mean, if you
Wait,
if you
isn't
go,
LeBron basketball?
Yeah, but I'm just
Okay.
super team reference.
If
He
you-
understood.
if you look at the teams that move on and win the championships, their majority age is 19. They'll carry
As many older as they
10
Yeah.
19-year-olds, 3 20-year-olds, 7 18-year-olds, and then they'll have 1 16-year-old.
So the 16, 17, 18 is to develop
Exactly.
And then on the competition, you go with the 19-year-olds.
Exactly. And that
Okay.
becomes a management and an organizational,
Okay.
philosophy of when you want to go for it, when you want to,
Okay.
develop, rebuild. And that's kind of the case we're in right now. So
total roster 25.
ish. Yeah.
Like, will they be on the bench? Because it's obviously
Yeah. So every game we submit a roster of 20 skaters
To the league.
So 18 skaters, 2 goalies.
Okay.
They're the game roster.
Yeah.
We could have 5 guys sitting in the crowd if we want. There's a lot of clubs that will send them to a tier 2 level. They'll go play at the tier 2. They'll practice with them if they need them in a emergency affiliation. They'll call them up.
Yeah. So the 18 will be the guys that are actually playing
The game, correct?
the actual game. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
correct.
Well, yeah, because they
Correct.
have so many different lines, right? You have 4 lines of guys.
4 forward lines,
Yeah.
3 defensive pairs,
Yeah.
and then your goaltender.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. So then you just circulate through the lines. Would you go through all 4 lines?
Oh yeah.
Or all 3 lines?
sure. They'd probably play
you'd use them
30 seconds, 1 minute.
ish. Yeah, typically.
Yeah.
But now ice time's not equal across the board. Your
Yeah.
top end guys, a top end forward. Line play a lot more. Exactly.
Okay,
So typically, your top end guy, your line 1, they'll average around 22, 23 minutes a night, where your 4th line might average 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might be on for a minute versus the other guy half a minute? Is that
Something like that. Yeah.
long? Okay.
And then
Or you just go, yeah.
you'll go every second. You'll go every third.
Yeah.
Line 3, line 1.
Exactly. And that's where the coaching becomes fun, right?
Okay.
Because now, the ultimate, idea of my job is to put the right people on the ice at the right time.
Yeah.
Right. Like at the end of the game, no matter what the organization wants, like we're competitive that exact moment we want to win. Right. We're not
Yeah.
playing to lose.
Yeah.
Ever.
You get the
Ever. Exactly. Like it
in the box
isn't going to tell the kid on the ice to go. It comes down now to
Yeah.
the coaching staff who's there, right behind the guys. And that's the fun part where you got to find the strategies and the matchups and,
So do you want to divulge all your secrets now about it? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you also don't want to get coached. Because that could be terrible.
Well,
No,
that's
but that
that's
can
all of a
happen.
sudden you get. Well, it can happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's where teams get out coached, for example. But there's rules that come into play where you have more advantages when you're at home compared to when you're on the road. So you get better matchups. So
Explain that. How does that work? That you
Wait,
get
yeah.
the
so
advantage?
there's a whole bunch of rules within the game that your typical fan wouldn't really know. When you are the home team, you get a change last. So anytime there's a stoppage in play, right, you could change your players over the boards. So the road team will get to put on their 5 players.
Then you see what they're doing.
And then you can adjust.
Exactly. The
Okay.
referee he'll kind of stop them from changing.
Okay.
There's kind of cues and markers. You have like 5 seconds to make your decision. He'll look at the home team. Home team now gets to adjust and put on whoever they want.
Okay, that's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, so now you as the coach, right? Like there's a lot going on. It happens really quick, but it's fun when you are in a serious like matchup game and you're the home team, and especially when it works, right? Like we spend hours prepping and studying.
If this happens, then do this.
Exactly. And then when it works, it's pretty fun. But then there's also rules within the game where if you ice a puck, for example, so there's a stoppage in play. It's a defensive zone face-off. You're not allowed to change. Yeah, you're not allowed to
Ice
change.
a puck means it goes
Yeah,
out the net.
all the way down the ice. So now it gives the advantage to the road team if that's the case.
They can change.
They can change.
Yeah.
So the
But-
team that ices it cannot change.
Oh,
And
So
then so it's
Basically, icing is if when the puck's in your own
zone.
defensive zone, and you just whip the puck on the other end of the almost said court
exactly
of the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and nobody touches it. It's
the
considered
whole
icing.
time. Yeah.
It has to cross both lines.
Yeah, it's got to go all the way to the far
Yeah.
end. It's basically a panic situation, right? Like
Yeah,
panic,
just-
you get it out of your zone.
Yeah, just throw it out.
Whistle
Yeah.
will go, automatic face off in your zone, can't change.
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes real fun as a coach.
So if you're away,
Yeah, big time.
You ever run into situations where your line 3 can actually like match up pretty well with line 1?
Well, it depends if that guy's tired on the other side, right?
Yeah. You know, it's a good point. I mean, there's definitely times where it's like we trust our checking line, which would be considered our third line. Their job is to play against their top line.
Yeah.
So line 1, 2, 3.
Would you call it checking line? Like they beat
exactly.
up people?
Their job basically the checking line, right? Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Your job
I love
isn't
it.
to score.
Yeah.
Your job is to saw it off. Like we don't need you to get scored.
just
We don't
grinding
need you to
it out.
score,
Just-
but don't get scored on.
Yeah.
Just you're out there sawing
It's
it
pure
off. Chew up
defense.
minutes. Chew up minutes. It's cool. So it sucks when your fourth line's out there and they ice the puck and you're like, oh, here comes the first line over the boards. You're like, hang on, buckle up.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, and everyone knows. Everyone knows. So
all I'm thinking about is all the times I played NHL. You know, it just automatically does those line shifts for me. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more complicated than what it looks like, but it's fun.
And this is happening like split second decisions, like within, like you just gotta see that this guy's moving in, and then you're like, okay, shit, I gotta change up. No.
Like you're just as much a position.
It's funny you say that. It's like the game ends and I am exhausted. You know, I finally get back in the office and you kind of like take a deep breath and you're like, oh my God, it's like I played the entire game with them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like mentally like zombied.
Then you watch the TVs.
What's that?
Then you watch all the TV, right? Like apparently you guys have these like
You ever catch yourself on camera? You're like,
or what?
Every once in a while, I'm like, okay, I like my suit that night. I liked it. Yeah, you're right. It's hard not
that's
to.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a nice hat.
No hats.
No hats. Oh,
No.
Are you wearing a helmet?
That's business.
No. But hockey is I don't know how to say it, professionalism. Like
Yeah, you wear.
like
suits.
we wear suits, you
Yeah.
know, and like basketball coaches used to, but now it's the zip up or whatever, and like
Yeah.
but no hats,
Times
no
have
like
changed.
Yeah.
like Bill Belichick cut off or whatever, like none of that. Like so. No. Yeah, yes and no. Recently you're like league mandated. You know how the world's kind of going. It's very delicate. You can't enforce a fine. You can't get a 16-year-old kid to, $100 or whatever, you miss practice type thing.
I see.
Now, there's not ways around it or loopholes, but there's consequences.
Oh, yeah,
There's-
you're gonna bench them
and
or-
like
Well, it
our
has to be
biggest
discipline. I don't know.
yeah, absolutely.
Or laps
so,
or something.
So whatever it is, and whether it's a physical punishment or community service hours, like
Physical.
you know what I
beat-
mean? Like,
No,
like you're running stairs or something. You're running stairs. Let's make that clear. You're running stairs. After practice, you're skating a little more than everyone else.
Then
You're
you
late.
beat them up, or
Yeah. No. There's
Once their legs are tired and they can't run away, you run after them. Do you find? Sorry, go ahead.
I'll finish up that thought there. Like the players can find each other. They hold a
Okay.
court.
That's funny. I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask you. Do you find that there's like the older players are kind of mentoring the younger players, and also are they holding each other accountable, teaching them? Like, because they're all competing, right? Because they're all ultimately competing to kind of make it in a higher league. So do you find they're mentoring each other, or are they kind of battling it out even within their own team?
You know what? That's what you'd wish for, is
Yeah.
that they're mentoring each other. The older
Yeah.
players, sometimes the younger players are just more mature than the
Oh,
older player.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like regardless of their experience, just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser,
Yeah.
right? Like,
But
it's,
if they're 16, 17, are they in school? And then are they in school here? I guess.
yeah, they are. So our 16, 17-year-olds are high school kids.
Okay.
We pay for them to go to a private school here in
Okay.
Ottawa. So they'll practice with us in the morning. We're on the ice at 8:30 in the morning. So kids show up 7:30, meeting start.
Yeah.
We'll be done by 10:30 and they're at school by 11 to 4. So they have a grind of a day and then they come back and they go to the
But
gym.
like they have a lunch period, like condensed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
They don't have
I guess an
recess.
agreement with the high school, but
That's intense, man.
yeah, they
Well, they
take
miss
good care of
gym
them.
class. Let's
And
say.
then and you know
Sure.
what, they take summer courses to get ahead, and
Yeah.
they end up actually graduating early, which is
So
pretty
like,
cool.
they
So-
really have to make a commitment, like really young.
oh yeah,
to
this
be like,
yeah,
hey,
for
this
like-
is- this is
for
what
that
I'm
age
doing.
group, and then like to have that
No,
mentality
that's
to
what
do
I'm
this.
saying. What
Yeah,
I was
They're
saying,
gonna be, I can't
isn't,
even do that today. Like,
no.
this isn't a
yeah.
cakewalk. Like
No, definitely
and I
not.
give all the credit to these kids. Like they grind,
Whoa.
they grind every day, and And our program is hard. Like we make it hard on purpose. Like
Yeah.
it's impressive what they go through.
And this is called amateur league. So now you have the 67s, you have other brand names or whatever. So is it always like the professional league kind of having like a junior team to bring them up to?
No. We have no affiliated ties with the pros. Now, players on our team have affiliated ties. So this year we had 6 kids who were drafted to the National Hockey League.
Okay.
So we had a kid with the Pittsburgh Penguins. We had a kid with the St. Louis Blues. We had a kid with the Calgary Flames.
Wow.
They all have ties.
That's
So
crazy. So
roster.
you have scouts like who are coming to these games
yeah.
and like watching heavily.
Oh yeah, this is the next step to the pros. So it's a feeder league. It's a development feeder league. So this upcoming NHL draft, there might be in the first round 10 OHL kids projected this year.
Really?
Yeah. The OHL might have the first overall kid picked this year. No, I have no idea. I'm speculating here, but I'll drop the name. I think it's going to be this defenseman in Erie. His name's Matt Schaefer. Schaefer. Schaefer is his last name for sure. Yeah, he played on the World Junior team this year for Team Canada.
Okay.
He's the kid who broke his collarbone.
Oof.
The defenseman, but he is an unbelievable athlete, unbelievable human. He's
And he's
going to be a pro
Erie?
for a long time. Yeah.
Okay, now I lost it. That's good. Wow.
Okay, so you're traveling to all these different cities, towns, whatever for these games. Are you noticing like big differences with the stadiums, the stands, the fans? Like, how does Ottawa compare, for example, when you're playing in a home game to what another home team's fans or like atmosphere is going to be like?
Or hot dogs. We could just start with the hot dogs.
Yeah, I skip out on the hot dogs typically. I'm just busy. But that might be a thing next year. Try at least one hot dog per arena.
Just compare and take notes.
Full report, please.
Beef hot dogs though, so I could. I don't eat pork. Very specific.
He does drink, however.
So best atmosphere, the Brantford Bulldogs.
Brantford,
smallest rink in the league, about 3,000 people.
but mighty.
Oh, it's like a blue collar town. It's like adults who just go and get wasted and are just screaming at kids.
I love it.
They're just screaming. They'll give it to us, and they're up on the glass. But it is the loudest building. It's wicked. Like you can't hear yourself think in there. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Oh.
Big time.
Pro or con?
Pro. Well, unless you're the road
depends
team.
what side you're on.
No, because you're a road team in Brantford, right?
We're the road team in Brantford.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I guess you could look at it both ways, pro and con. Like when they are in a little slump and the crowd starts getting them going, or they're starting to roll, they score a goal, and it feels like it's an avalanche coming at you. Like it's deafening.
But
it's hard.
Brantford might root for your guys.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Now
That's what I'm saying. So it's
now
a
one of the
con,
best things I think equally as fun as like hyping up your home crowd is shutting up a road crowd.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
cool.
for
It's
sure.
cool when you walk out of
Yeah.
there and they're all disappointed and like, oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has got to go dead silent.
Oh yeah. And there's a couple F
You see-
bombs and like, you know.
Blaming the other coach.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So it's pretty cool. But on the flip side, the London Knights, they're always a fun place to be in. It's 9,500 fans. You know, like it's.
So that's like
big
a
time.
10-hour trip for you guys. 8 hours.
Yeah. We do it about only once a year.
Okay.
We get all the way down to Southern Ontario, Windsor, Sarnia.
You should probably just do
London.
like a tour and just tour them all.
We do, typically 3.
Okay.
3 games. So we'll spend a weekend. We'll leave on a Wednesday. We'll play Thursday, have Friday off, play Saturday, Sunday, come home.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far in advance? Thursday?
Our interdivision teams will usually travel the Friday. So Peterborough 3 hours, North Bay 4 hours.
And you play. He'll play
Well-
Saturday, I think.
Well, say we play Friday
Oh.
in Peterborough and North Bay
Yeah.
or Oshawa. So those 3 teams will day of. We'll leave at noon. We'll get there for 4 for a 7:00 game.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I would figure.
So it depends. It really depends, and again, we're very fortunate where our organization, our ownership group allows us if we want to go down the day early. They'll get us nice hotels, and we'll stay here, and we'll team meals and all that kind of stuff, which we do a lot. We're one of the furthest teams. I think we're the third most traveled team in the OHL. So the best part of our ownership group is they allow for that. So we'll go down and we'll home base kind of in the Toronto area, Mississauga or Kitchener somewhere. And then we'll branch out from there. We'll go to Barrie. We'll come back. We'll go to Guelph. We'll come back.
Oh, you have one spot.
So, and we prefer it that way because then you get in your
back.
hotel and you kind of get to unpack for 5 days, and you have a home base, and you get the
I guess because if you're Mississauga,
and,
you go London, you go Windsor.
Exactly.
You go
So those teams don't even have road trips, which kind of sucks. Like road trips are kind of the fun part of junior hockey. Like getting the hotel and getting the bus.
So kids, if you want to play hockey, play in Ottawa.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So
it is a recruiting pitch. There
it
you go.
is. Yeah. See, there we go.
Like
yeah. No.
They want to go,
Yeah.
but
Yes and no. So even though we're a junior amateur program or organization, we still have a draft. We have an amateur draft. So it's actually in 2 weeks now.
Is that
So you're drafting like 16-year-old kids,
or 15-year-old kids
sitting there waiting to be drafted?
Yeah, so we have a scouting team of 15 guys. They all kind of cover their own region, Southern Ontario, the United States, wherever, all over. And they put together their draft list, and in about 2 weeks, next Thursday, we're going to be down in Toronto. And
holy
coach like when
you know what? Me and the other coaching staff, the hockey operation side of thing, we see the players. We don't necessarily voice our opinion that much because we trust our scouting staff.
Okay.
We trust our general manager. Like that's their job.
That's
their bread and butter. It's like I've seen the kid once, they've seen the kid 30 times. You know, like I can't really.
they don't give you like NHL.
No, you know what? We get the full scouting report.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, they're not going to ask me like, "Hey, you want this kid?"
Yeah, but his job is to play with to use the best he can with the players.
Exactly.
Right?
You give me the pieces, and I'll make them.
But what if you go, that guy's a jackass bum, whatever, and then now I have to fit him in, grind him to the mold or whatever.
It's part of it. Right?
That's part of your job, or you would just tell the GM no, I don't want this guy. Like Elliot, for instance, you wouldn't take him.
Well, it depends. Like it obviously they ask for opinion. Like
you could agree with me. It's fine.
Do we need I'd have you. We need some size, so I like it. I like it. Yeah, you'd be on our check-in line.
He works out. I did legs with him. He's pretty strong.
But I could go to my assistant general manager and be like, "Hey, we need a right-hand shot defenseman. That's where it's a huge hole in our team right now." I'm more worried about our team right now than I am the team 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I have a development plan for the kids, but I'm ready to win now. So, that's my kind of role in it. I'm not going to say the 15-year-old kid who I've seen once is better than the other 15-year-old kid who I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yeah. I trust our staff.
So you can't tell your staff, this is what I require. And then they'll see, hey, but these are really good talents.
Exactly. We need a centerman who could win faceoffs.
Yeah.
That's what we told them. That's what we need. It should be number one on your priority list. We picked third overall this year. If the best player is a right-handed left winger who doesn't take faceoffs, we're going to take the right-handed left winger, right? It's just that's how high we pick. But they know our needs and what we kind of want, and that's kind of how we go from there.
And is that public knowledge as to what your requirements are, or people could tell, but they
that's all internal.
It's internal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, people who are watching, I'm sure
if you come to all 68 of our games, you'll know we need a centerman too.
Okay, so you guys have 68 games.
Yeah, it's a long season.
And so how do they split it between home games and away games?
34.
34.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but 34 in the divisions.
Same amount of games. Yeah. So there's exactly. So 2 conferences. So the Western Conference, we see everyone once home, once away.
Manitoba
right? So
guys.
No. Though not in Ontario, just in the OHL.
Okay.
So the Western Conference would be London and Windsor and Sarnia and the American teams. And then the Eastern Conference would be us, Peterborough, North Bay, Oshawa.
So you said American teams.
I was just gonna
the American division. You mean?
there's 3 American teams in our
In the
In the
OHL?
in the OHL.
That's so
Okay.
weird.
Two in Michigan.
Tariff
Okay.
that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Flint, Saginaw in Michigan, and then
Did you guys go play in Flint?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
How is it?
rowdy. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Is it?
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you would picture, like an American fan base, like
Nice.
beers, hot dogs,
Supersized beers.
like fucking American flags.
Hot dogs. See, I
like,
told you.
like
You got
Sorry.
excited.
yeah, sorry, you did get me excited. I like playing in Flint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a team in Erie, Pennsylvania as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all 3 organizations have a real, good fan base.
Yeah. So are Canadians generally stronger than the American side or vice versa?
All the athletes are filled of Canadian kids.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, a majority of them are because they're all drafted from Ontario.
Okay.
Okay.
There
Is
are
that mandatory or no?
no, you have certain regions in the United States that you got to pick from as well, but we're not going out west to draft a kid from Calgary. He's part of the Western Hockey League. His rights aren't available to us.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
So you're
yeah.
basically picking from
It's
Ontario
regional.
kids.
Yeah, it's definitely
And
regional.
then a couple of
But the Flint
Americans,
guy,
yeah.
the Flint guy is picking from Flint or he's picking from...
No, he
Well,
picked
Flint
from
is
all
a place,
Ontario.
not a guy.
Yeah,
No, I know.
they pick from all of Ontario too. Yeah,
They have to pick from Ontario as well,
yeah.
They can't
They're
pick
part of our
from-
league.
but they can't pick from... Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
So let's say I get drafted to Flint.
Yeah.
Can I say no? I don't want to go there.
you can.
But then it's
But-
possible that I just get dropped and then
And then you
nobody's
don't. You
going to pick
typically
me up.
don't play in the OHL. Then.
Okay.
Yeah, you go
Yeah.
play tier 2
Well,
somewhere else,
okay.
or
What happens when like
it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
what happens when like
Nobody's going to draft you anyways.
I'm not trying to get drafted. I don't know how to skate.
Seriously?
I've been
Goalie? You
skating
wanna
like
play
3
goalie?
times in my life.
Okay, wait. I was going to...
Um,
Before you rudely
what about a
interrupted him.
kid who comes in, let's say he's like 17.
I guess it's your 20-year-old birth year. So it's like we had a kid turn 21 in December.
Okay.
He was still allowed to play January, February, March, even though he was 21.
Oh,
It was his 04 birth year that he was a 20-year-old.
Okay.
But as soon as he graduates from us, he no longer in the league.
What's the next step then?
So it's actually kind of cool. Recently the rule has changed. So we're one feeder league to the pros. The Canadian Hockey League, the OHL, is one feeder league. The NCAA is the other route. Now, with all this NLI stuff,
The what?
or NIL, so
Because
all these college athletes get paid now, right?
Yeah.
Sponsorship, big money.
Yeah.
Used to not happen.
That's like recent as of what, the past 5 years or even less?
less. Even.
Yeah.
So now,
At the college level, like when you're 20
Yeah.
now? Okay.
at the NCAA level,
Okay.
the NCAA is its own governing organization. It
Yeah,
has
I thought that was for basketball.
No ties to anything. Well, it is basketball,
Oh, okay.
but it's also football and hockey and,
Oh,
and
so-
soccer and women's track and field.
Oh, wow.
It's all across the NCAA. So there's been a rule change where, as of I don't know, a month ago, now CHL kids who are considered, I know I said they aren't considered pro, but they're considered semi-pro because they get paid, right?
Yes.
From our organization and from an NHL organization, if you
Yeah.
have the proper contracts and draft rights. NCAA kids were not allowed to be paid. It was a amateur sport, right? All of a sudden, 5 years now moves by. They start begging for money. They
Yeah.
start getting the money. Now
Wasn't there
they're-
major lawsuits because they're making so much money on
Exactly.
endorsements and off
Exactly.
merchandise and
and they're right, like look at the college football scene or the basketball
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
It's like they're making the university multi-millions of
Yeah.
dollars, right?
Yeah,
The kids
yeah.
are getting,
It's no
and the
joke.
athletes
It's
are doing,
not...
yeah,
Yeah.
the athletes are getting nothing. So all of a sudden now, lawsuits go on. All these athletes are now getting paid.
Yeah.
So many different rules and loopholes that
yeah,
I don't even know them.
probably depends on
It's
the player,
still in
the
the early-
management, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they all have like it's crazy. The agents and the endorse, like it's unbelievable. But so you fast forward to about 3 months ago now, the CHL and the NCAA made a rule where you could now play in the CHL and then go to the NCAA after. Where
Oh,
a
like
year ago-
transition.
as soon as you signed a contract in the NCAA or in the CHL as a 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20-year-old, right, you lose your eligibility to go to the NCAA because you just signed as a semi-pro junior player.
So then you couldn't go to the non-semi-pro.
You couldn't go to the
amateur.
You couldn't go to back to amateur.
Okay.
Exactly. So the NCAA is like, no, you're not coming to us. So that was a decision I made back when I was 15 years old, right? I said, I'm not going to the Western League. I'm going to go to the NCAA.
Yeah.
So I didn't play in the CHL, but then I ended up, fortunately going and playing Division 1 hockey, where a lot of kids are like, okay, I don't want to play in the CHL. I have to play tier 2 hockey, right? One level below ours.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, you could play the top development junior league in Canada and then still go to the NCAA. So to roundabout follow up your question, we have all 3 of our overagers are going to go play in the NCAA next year.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's a wicked opportunity for them. It's just a big time. And you know what? They're not ready for pro. So they get another 4 years of development, 4 years of education, and it's all paid for. They're going to be they're going to make good cash.
And they'll go to university. They'll end up
it's just
playing,
the next it's the next step of their life, and it's the best. It's college is the best, and it's like these 4 years are unbelievable, right? For them, they're just going to find the next transition is going to be even better.
And then by the time they graduate now, so they're like 24 at that point, they're going to be now they're ready for pro, or they can get drafted halfway through.
No, you can't get drafted anymore. You're too old, but you could just sign as a free agent.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just another 4 years to physically mature. You're work on your skills, work on your game.
So once you do that, now you're not going to NHL anymore.
No, you could. A lot of guys go, but typically they'll become free agents.
Yeah, you won't get drafted.
You only get drafted at the age 18.
Yeah.
Oh, draft is
our draft year for hockey is at the age of 18.
Okay.
It's not like you declare after college, like basketball. It's like I go to college, declare for the draft at 21, 23, 25. It's 18-year-old, your birth year. When you turn 18, you're eligible for the draft, and then you could re-enter at 19, but it's rare.
Oh, so it's just one-time thing. So by 18, if you're
exactly.
going to go,
Exactly.
If you're going to get drafted, you can still go to free, even other sports, right? If you're not drafted into the NFL or the NBA, you can still kind of not walk on with teams holding tryouts. You can walk on and try and get signed as a free agent.
Yeah.
Without being drafted.
They're still going to be recruiting you and watching you, and then if you're good enough, they'll find you.
I see. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is, you're 18, you get drafted, you sign up with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then you're maybe not ready to play for them, first, second, third, fourth line or whatever. Yeah, so they'll put you into develop. Yeah, they'll develop you, and then they'll send you up when.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, with this rule change, and it's a landscape that's kind of unknown. Like our managers never dealt with it. The NCAA schools have never dealt with it, but the NHL now has to get involved with their collective bargaining agreement because the rights and the duration of all these contracts, they were different between leagues.
It has to now match.
And now it has to exactly. So
interesting.
It's pretty cool. It's the next evolution of hockey, and it's like nobody knows really where it's going or how it's heading. And
but you heard it here first, guys, on BAM.
Yeah.
So at what point are these kids needing to get an agent? Because you're saying these 16, 17-year-olds are getting paid.
Like a real estate agent.
Sure.
When they sign their first deal.
Is there just a standard pay, or can all varies. Elliot come negotiate? Because Elliot's mom just wants to manage him, and she's a really good manager, and she just got him a way better contract than. But at what point are they actually getting managers and negotiating contracts? And
most of these kids now have agents at 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
So exactly, which is crazy, right? So all of a sudden finding an agent, who's just waiting to take your money, basically. At 14, 15, you kind of just go naturally through the process until you start making pro money and negotiating. It's like, you need one, but you don't need one. I don't know.
So you're paying for an agent at 14?
Yes. I mean, yes, most. Exactly.
Yeah, I figure
most
that's what
agents,
agents
they kind
are
of
gonna
bet on
do.
you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, I'll take 3% of your first contract, you know? So that's typically the way it works. But everyone has an agent, and agents, the game is changing where agents, they work for the kid, but they don't work for the organization anymore.
They're free.
It's becoming it's just the game and the way the kids are, they're changing in the sense that it's not really about the team anymore. It's all about
themselves.
It's all about how you getting me the next deal, how you getting me the next.
But the agent is a
contract.
self-contract, like a self-employed contractor.
Yeah, he's all.
Okay, so he
he's
doesn't
all
care
outsourced
about.
individual.
Yeah, so this is, and then he goes and tries to negotiate with like
exactly. This is my athlete. It's like, okay, you're a free agent now. I'm going to go negotiate with this organization.
Scout or
He's-
whatever.
Yeah, he's good. Get him, sign him.
Yeah,
I'll take some.
Some of them could do absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. And that's the thing. Like, there's 3 or 4 major agencies.
yeah.
There's some good agents. There's some not so good agents. So it's like,
Yeah.
depends what you want to pay,
It's like
who you
realtors.
know, and
Don't look at me. Look at
so yeah, no, it's an interesting world.
you. Yeah.
For sure. It's the sport specific, like all in focus now
Yeah.
is, and it's across most sports, right? Like you see like these
Yeah.
10-year-old quarterbacks throwing 50-yard
I
dimes,
know.
and you're like, whoa, like just bred in a lab or something. But like it's also kind of sad in the sense where it's like, I don't want to say these kids are getting robbed of like a childhood, but
Yeah.
like it's crazy the investment these parents are making in their own children, and then the pressure they're
pressure,
putting
yeah.
them on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Like,
can
because I
imagine.
had friends growing up like that were in like competitive or like AAA and all those like leagues. I was in the house league. It was really nice. But not for long. Like you would wake up, like we couldn't party too late with some of these guys if they had a game like next, which they normally had like a 5 a.m. game or 6. And I never understood that. Like, what do you mean 5 a.m. Saturday morning? The only day off you have to wake up earlier. Doesn't
To
make
go
sense.
play hockey.
To play hockey, and then obviously their parents are like super dedicated to it.
I couldn't imagine. I literally
Yeah, but I
couldn't
don't know
imagine.
that they all want to get to the NHL. Like they're just part of.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
It
sometimes
might
their
be the parents kind of pushing
Yeah.
them to try and be something they don't want them to be.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's hard. Like, it's hard. And the sad thing about hockey specifically right now is it's so expensive.
so expensive.
Like, it's to even put your kid into it. Like, I know we were just at this OHL Cup, which is the major tournament for the 15-year-olds, and doing some scouting, and like some of the kids' parents to like play for that individual team spent like over 190 grand this
Oh my
year
God.
specifically.
This year,
This year.
And so
And
what
that's
are
on, like,
the costs?
that's like registration fees, tournament fees, travel fees, equipment. Like, it's a $400 stick now they're buying.
No
and they're breaking
way.
them. And I'm like,
but what do you mean
Oh.
$190,000? Like that is
It's-
absolutely nuts.
So
and-
how do
and
they
he's
finance
15.
them?
I honestly, I don't know. And that's the, like, one of the issues with hockey, right? It's becoming so selective to who can actually play.
Yeah.
And then people can play, but then like who actually becomes
Yeah.
intense. And
Political game comes into it.
oh, it's incredible. So it's like,
That's
It's-
crazy. A $400 stick, but I guess they're just like highly engineered sticks that they're using now to just maximize on power and
it's unbelievable.
And you break them every game. Or
It's scary. It's scary. Like,
Yeah.
and again, fortunate for our athletes on the 67s, like, they're not paying for sticks, right? The club is paying for the sticks.
And so are
and their
most
gear
teams
and-
like that, or like most OHL teams are like that?
All OHL
Okay.
teams are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost
but
mandatory.
you gotta get to that.
Yeah,
and to
you gotta
get to that, you
point,
have to
yeah.
be the best out of
No,
all
for
the
sure.
comp leagues. like,
Exactly.
growing
Exactly.
up, like
We have
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
whoever,
put my kids in pickleball or something.
yeah,
'cause-
hey, what a sport. What a sport. Yeah, no, I mean, whoever's running the the tournament, they're looking to make a buck themselves,
Yeah,
right?
of
So
course.
it's crazy.
All the work and effort it's going to take for them to organize everything. They're not doing
Yeah,
it
but
for
like
free.
if it's 190, I just can't like because that means there's 68. We're talking about like what, like $2,000-$3,000 per game that they're spending.
It's crazy. Like, I, and probably have to fact check those numbers, but like it's like that's what I mean. Like, it's,
Well, even 50 grand
50
is nuts
Gs.
for my
Who the hell's
15-year-old
spending-
kid to go play hockey, 14-year-old
Yeah.
kid to play hockey.
You gotta spend 5 G's a month just
Yeah.
5
Just
G's
like
a
in-
month.
I'm
How
not-
many,
listen,
how many folks
it's not
can
about
do
betting
that?
or not betting
Yo,
on your
beat
kid.
them up right now, bro.
It's just a matter of being able to afford to bet on your kid, man.
Yeah.
Like,
if you can, you would.
Well, it's funny. Me and my brothers have this debate all the time. Like, if it's ethical or not. To like, if you are well off and you're as an investment opportunity, can you go and find a kid and be like,
You're mine.
I'm
I'm adopting you.
Well, that's the ethical question. But it's like if this kid is the next LeBron James or Tom Brady,
Yeah.
it's like I'm going to do everything. I honestly.
Well, then you'd be
but like,
his,
you know what I mean?
you're
Like,
his
I'm going to
agent.
invest in this kid. Yeah,
So
basically,
you're his agent.
his financial agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you do everything you can to make this kid the
Yeah.
number one prospect, and then hopefully he
but
signs a
then
big
what?
ticket.
Like, trying
What?
to think. Like at that point, that kid basically, whatever you say goes. Yeah, he works for you essentially,
Well,
right?
That's
It's like,
that's the ethical decision.
Yeah.
It's like, is this actually legal?
But he wants to go to the
because what if this kid eventually?
What if he does?
What if he changes his mind?
And yeah, what
I'm
if he
sure in
just says,
some
"Screw
countries,
this,"
man, I've
and,
seen
like-
some kids play piano at 3 years old. There's no way this is by choice. Oh damn! Like, yeah, I'm sure that happens, but that's too bad. So people are spending 5 G's a month.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
intense.
That's absolutely crazy.
I didn't realize the depth of this league and all of the leagues below it, and like how much actually goes into it
Oh yeah,
at all.
It's-
Like in terms
it's-
of agents and coaches and scouting staff, all that sort of stuff.
I didn't realize how professional this is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't realize how big of an organization and how deep it
Yeah.
actually was.
I think the most recent OHL club just sold for $20 million.
Oh way, wow.
Yeah, so like they're big investments now. Like they're
Oh, yeah.
businesses now.
Yeah.
Like these owners are going in, buying them, and like you're not going to make a buck off junior hockey. Like running a club,
Yep.
you got to have a lot of money to make this like a hobby in what sense. And it's like the better owners have more cash, where it's like they're run pro style.
But aren't they making money off of stadiums? Like, I mean, ticket sales aren't crazy expensive from what I've seen, but like,
For sure. I
but
mean,
you're still making something off that and concession stands and stuff like that, or
of course.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
of
got paid the
course.
stadium itself, no?
It depends on the organization.
Okay.
Like our owners own our arena, TD Place.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not like they're paying rent or anything, but just I don't know, ballpark, our operating budget is just under $2 million or something like that. Like
That's
it's
crazy.
So not only, it's a big investment, and
Yeah.
it is professional.
Yeah, it is.
They're not gonna make.
Like he's
No,
not like
no,
he's
no,
not
no, like-
cash flowing like crazy.
Exactly.
So then.
100%. Maybe you have an end goal
Yeah,
owning
but also
a
you
pro
could
club
grow.
at one
What
day.
if you
or,
grew the
Yeah.
team? You made it a strong team. Now it's not 20 mil anymore. It's like 30 mil. 40
yeah,
mil.
yeah. And
You know?
that's what's happening,
Bigger
right? Like,
stadium,
yes.
fill the stadium. All that's like, what's the capacity of the hockey arena for the 67s?
TD Place. I don't know. You guys haven't been, obviously.
Yeah, I
Or
haven't been to a
have.
hockey game. I've been
Okay.
to a basketball game.
So the hockey game is, I mean, at capacity, it's just under 8,000.
Okay.
Okay.
We average about 3,500.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Like Flint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are organizations like London who's 9,000 every single night.
Really?
Right? And they
Wow.
make a profit. Like, it's unbelievable. They're a factory.
So how do you get a home base to be that strong? Or is
It
that just
depends.
culture?
No, it's the organization, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into it.
Really? Lots of
Um,
marketing, lots of like
we have a full team, like a
Yeah.
full team, and we're obviously fortunate again that we're run by OSEG, like Ontario Sports and Entertainment,
yeah.
where we have that resources and that capacity to fill a full team. But one of the cool things about junior hockey is most organizations are in small towns. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're in Ottawa, obviously, which is a big city. There's a
Yeah.
team. There's a team in Toronto, but the Sudburys and the North Bays and the Peterboroughs, like
They don't have much else
community,
going
it's
on,
community,
right? So
but
that's
it's
what they wanna
But it's
community
very
driven, right?
community based. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And those teams are, they're typically fun to be a part of, because those organizations, like, they live and die by the organization.
Yeah.
Where it's
I
like,
can
if we
imagine
get 2,000 people, it's like nobody really cares.
that.
Like, let's be honest.
Whereas
right? Like,
over there,
they're
3,000
going to be at
people
the
would be a big
Sens
deal.
game, or they're going to be at out for dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's other things to do, but like, obviously we have a passionate fan base that you have the exactly.
I've never been to a game before.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got to get
We'll
you
have to
on.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
we
never
gotta
been
get you
to
on.
a juniors. I have
We'll get the whole podcast
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
100%.
Get the podcast on.
We could get the podcast at the
Wow.
arena.
Yeah.
We could
Can
do
we
an
get
episode at the
backstage
arena.
That'd be
interviews
dope,
or
actually.
Yeah,
like locker
absolutely.
room
We'll get
interviews?
the athletes on here. and-
Yeah. I love it.
So did I tell you that I played hockey and I made the high school team once?
I heard house league.
No.
High school.
I was
okay.
in a house league, but
Okay.
I made the high school team. And then I show up on ice. So I missed theater class for this, okay? So I show up on ice, and then the puck
Theater
gets
class.
stuck.
You know it does.
this is no joke. I don't know how I was going to say drafted, but I don't know how I got on the team. So then the puck gets stuck in like, the bend, the corner. And all I hear is like, and then like my neck is like this and the board going like that, trying to get it out. And then all I feel is this like wind pass by, and and I look up, it's the coach. And he stops this other kid who's about to destroy me against the board. And then he goes, "Get the F off my team." And I was like, "What the hell did I do?" He's like, "If you don't know, get out." He's
so
like,
it's for your own good.
for your own good. My neck was almost like cracked. Like I was going to get destroyed.
It wouldn't be exactly.
That's what coaches do. They look out for their
They
athletes.
did. Well, he kicked me out. I played rollerblade hockey after
Hey,
that.
sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, it was-
It's better that you hurt your feelings and you didn't die, you know?
I didn't die. Yeah, that's it. I went back to theater. I did well there.
Yeah.
I did really well.
Not a surprise.
Oh wow. Do you have anything that like you would say to like young athletes that either want to go pro or want to go into coaching, like either route, like because you could do pro for both all the way up, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess my piece of advice is you got to enjoy what you do. You got to fall in love with two things specifically, and it's the hard work or the competitive side. There's tons of athletes who can just flip the switch and they're ultra competitive. It's becoming more and more rare. I'm telling you, like kids aren't competitive. They're all on these highly skilled super teams, and
Yeah.
it's more common to have a team full of 20 superstars and nobody knows who the real superstars were. Back in the day, you used to walk in the room and you knew who the three best players were. Everyone else was just there. Exactly. Exactly. So if you could,
supporting cast.
if you can fall in love with that hard work or that competitiveness or both, you're going to have such an advantage over everybody. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you truly like the passion side of things, like whether it's real estate, whether it's coaching hockey, playing hockey, being a pilot, cop, whatever it is. If you don't like, everything's a grind. Going to the grocery store and checking groceries all day is a grind.
Everything.
But if you don't love it,
It's
it's
hard. Choose your heart.
literally like it's
Yeah, but as I'm honestly kudos to these kids because we say kids, but some of them are 19, 20. But kudos to your whole team because to be in school, to kind of sacrifice family, friends, and then on top of that, like workout and like be so disciplined, like that's a lot. That's those would be fantastic entrepreneurs. They're what?
They're also the cool.
Yeah, but when do they have like the cool kids that can't
Depends.
party?
Depends who you
Do you guys
ask.
move their
Depends who you
families
ask.
with them too? Like if they're in a different city and you're moving them to that city to live there and they're going to school, are their families coming with
Why are
them?
you yelling at
No.
the guy though?
I just got excited because you said the word.
Like,
No.
the guy-
No.
He's
They,
been
they
so
all bill
polite.
it. So I think we have 3 kids who are actually from Ottawa who live with their parents.
Okay.
Everyone else billets.
Wow.
So they all stay with an adoptive family basically for the year, for the
Wow.
season, and then they go back. And I mean, a lot of the kids are from the Toronto area or Southern Ontario. Like
So it's
when
not
we
far.
go on the road, right? They're always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get to see them, and they're home for Christmas, and it flies by. It flies by.
Well, and then they're training. Oh, okay. I know we gotta go, but how many days a week are they training?
There's a mandatory day off once a week.
Well,
Other than
you
that,
say
we're-
it like it's an annoying thing.
no. Because what people don't remember is that the coaching staff needs a day off too. Like we're exhausted, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks
But
it's
you-
athletes. But it's 6 to 7 days a week.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's
Wow.
it's unbelievable. It's a commitment.
I thought real estate was hard, but this is. Yeah, I worked out the other day. You saw it.
That's why he's been sick.
Yeah, that's a
Sounds like our players.
yeah. Did this new thing called squats. Oh my god, it's crazy. For those of you that are interested, I work out.
I guess maybe we'll finish it off. What's your favorite thing about job and where do you like the evolution?
My favorite thing about my job is that I get to share it with so many other people. So I go to work every day, right? We practice, I do video, all that kind of stuff. I work with the athletes. but come game day, my wife gets to come to the game. You know, like my
Oh,
friends
nice.
are coming to the game.
Yeah.
My parents sometimes will come to the game. Elliot comes
Yeah.
to the game,
Your
right?
favorite
Like,
part.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I get to share my work with what I do every day with everybody else, where it's like I'm not going to watch my friend be an accountant. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's
Like
pretty
it's
boring.
pretty cool, and
No.
you know, like my friends check in all the time. Like, hey, you guys won? Like my brother-in-law texts me. He's like, hey, nice win tonight. You know, like, and everyone's kind of rooting for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
fun. To be honest, I don't remember the other part of it, but
It's okay. We can
That was
end it
good.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful ending.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you so much. Really, really pleasure to meet you.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's been.
No, this was good. Obviously, a different kind of guest, but
This is what we want. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Opened up our eyes to a whole world that we didn't even realize kind of existed.
yeah,
There's
well,
a bunch of stuff in there that people don't know, don't realize.
Yeah.
And so we also heard 3,500 the average. So every ticket now above, like a small
Yeah,
oh
we're,
yeah.
we're part owners now.
You guys
Yeah.
got to come though. There's
Yeah.
got to be 35
3503.
Yeah.
Plus Jacob 3504.
Yeah, 35.4. I like
he's
that.
gonna bring his whole studio.
I like that.
Yeah. He's over there. 3504 it is. Thank you so much, Paul. What a pleasure. Welcome to another episode of BAM. This was great. Rabia, did you want?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta watch the next one again.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Anyways, thank you
Yeah.
guys for watching. This has been Broadcast Millionaires. Bam.
Bam.
Bam.